know, I keep thinking to myself that all of these negative things surrounding Onision are eventually going to end, and there's no way he could possibly do something else that's dumber than what he's already been doing. Right? In this video I want to talk about two main things. First of all, the ridiculous phone call that Onision made to 911 when Chris Hansen showed up at his house, and secondly, how Onision is now suing Chris Hansen and Repzion.
You made me look stupid! I'm gonna sue you too!
If you are unfamiliar with Chris Hansen's career, you should know that many times he will go and seek out predatory people so he can put a stop to it. He'll go to their place, he'll knock on their door. Certainly not a visitor most people would want, but that's something he's been doing for a long time. And now that he's involved with this Onision case, that's where he went. So because of that, and because of all the online streams Chris Hansen has been doing, one of which I'm a part of, I will leave the link in the description below, Onision's decided to then sue him, and also Repzion. I feel like most people online have no clue what it means to actually sue someone. Like, they haven't sat down with a lawyer that they're paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars an hour for, even for the consultation alone, much less the time it would take to write up an official contract or some kind of statement, some kind of formal cease and desist to send to someone. They're not doing that. And in Onision's case specifically, he thinks that because someone is talking poorly about him online, which is not something he would ever do to someone else, that that in and of itself qualifies as slander or harassment. The standards that Onision laid out for suing Repzion are things that I 100% could sue him for if one could be sued over such things.
I have every reason to pursue you legally to recover the damages incurred from your slander and harassment.
Well, then I have a lot of money to be gained from you, don't I? Based on all the criteria you presented for being able to sue someone, because that's how legal things work, I could sue you, Shane could sue you, Eugenia could definitely sue you. You can have a lot of people suing you.
You are so sued, kid!
Well, go on then, sue me!
We're going to!
Okay, good! Do it!
A few people pointed this out, and I also find it very interesting that Kai, in a statement, said that Repzion's been harassing them for a decade. The math on that puts Kai at around 15. What the fuck?
But he was being hard on me for my age gap with Lainey, and I had a 9-year age gap with Lainey. And he told me to come back in 10 years, like not till Lainey was 25, to date Lainey.
I really hope that that was an exaggeration. So Chris Hansen and his camera crew show up at Onision's house. They're trying to get him to talk about things. He won't. Honestly, I can't imagine any scenario in which that conversation would happen and people would be like, oh yeah, oh, I didn't see it that way. Onision's a great guy. So he knows his outlook is very poor if he has this conversation, so he just hides and calls the cops.
911, what are you reporting?
Hi, there's a person who's been stalking me online and they just showed up to my house.
Okay, and they're outside now?
Yes, they're knocking on my door.
Okay, so I find this to be ridiculous for a number of reasons, but the first is that you have Chris Hansen at your house. That's not a good look, and you're telling that to the police. What are you doing?
Okay. And do you know if they have any weapons?
They have a bunch of camera people, like they're YouTube stalkers.
My weapon is my camera. Pretty ridiculous that Onision is calling Chris Hansen and the camera crew, or basically anybody calling him out in videos, stalkers. A bit of projection, I would think.
I went up to knock on James Jackson, Gregory Jackson, Onision's door to see if he would talk to me. I've been doing this for some 40 years.
And that's true. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Chris Hansen has a show called To Catch a Predator. Been going on for a long time, and this is something that he would routinely do.
And the one that's knocking on your door, is he the main one that you said has been stalking you?
Yes, he's a stalker. He's yelling things at me through the door right now.
Yeah, you got Chris Hansen. He's just like trying to knock the door down basically, and he's screaming and yelling, and it's causing a scene, and I'm terrified. He's going to hurt me. But was he really screaming?
Okay, and do we know his name at all?
It's Chris Hansen.
Okay.
I can't stop laughing at this. Imagine the conversation. Imagine the 911 call, or being the 911 operator, and you're like, so you're telling me that a guy whose job it is to catch predators is knocking on your door trying to catch a predator? Do I have that right, sir?
Yes.
All right, just taking a few notes. Nothing to be concerned about.
He's still yelling things at me through the door.
Greg, are you there?
He's yelling things at me through the door. Hey, Greg, are you there? Yelling, it's just, the loudness is overwhelming. Greg? You home, Greg?
Kai?
What a bunch of bullshit!
And do you know what he's talking about, like why he was stalking you or anything like that?
Yeah, there's like it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in the driveway.
Okay.
This is the best part of the entire call because she flat out asks, why are they there? You know, and the answer is, well, I'm being accused of a lot of really serious things and they're here to investigate me. So he couldn't respond. He's like, yeah, there's just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in the driveway.
That's not something a guilty person would do. So finally, he has to actually explain why they're there, and his explanation is the weakest, most pathetic thing you've ever heard.
Someone that there's an 18, no, I think they're 19, a 19-year-old.
You gotta start learning ages, Craig. If you're gonna talk to women, you should know how old they are. It matters.
Who I didn't want to hang out with. I didn't want to be around them. Their mental disorder was like really affecting my life in a negative way. And so I said I didn't want them in my life anymore. And they went to this person and said a bunch of mean things about me.
And they said mean things about me, which are like hurting my feelings? What a load of crap. Are you really saying that, oh, it's because I didn't want to hang out with one of these girls and because like they were crazy with their mental disorder and I just didn't want to be around that, so I said, no, I'm not gonna be your friend. And they were like, yeah, huh? And I was like, nuh-uh. And they're so mad that they just went to Chris Hansen and said mean things, and it just really feels like I'm getting bullied.
We're working on getting units out there as quickly as we can. Just go ahead and keep your doors locked. Do you feel comfortable disconnecting the line until we arrive? And then if anything changes, calling us back?
It should be fine. We're just hiding away from the windows.
So glad that he's the most honest YouTuber. It's good to know that they're still out there.
Okay. If anything changes before we arrive, please call us back, okay?
Okay, thank you.
The operator clearly said, if something changes, if something different happens, like not the thing that's happening right now, but if another thing happens instead, then you can call us.
A few moments later.
911 reporting.
Hi, I'm calling back. I reported some people who showed up to my house.
Sir, has something changed on scene there?
Just waiting for the police to show up. They're still in my driveway.
He called the cops. Again, because they weren't fast enough for him.
Okay, it is still showing here on my screen, and law enforcement has been advised. If anything does change or escalate, call us back, okay?
Are you guys going to show up?
Sir, has there been a change? Like, remember on the call 5 minutes ago when I said if something is different?
Are you guys going to show up?
Sir, it has been sent to the officers. They have to drive to you, okay? If something escalates, call us back, okay?
Are you guys even gonna show up? Here's a tip. Don't be an ass to law enforcement. Typically that doesn't work for people, so you might want to try that. Hilarious.
You may have heard that Onision, aka Gregory Jackson, aka James Jackson, put together a little legal complaint on his own, didn't use any lawyers, and marched it off to the local courthouse.
If you're really serious about suing someone, you get a lawyer. It's really hard for me to believe Greg is actually gonna do this. Maybe he's just trying to scare them and hope they'll back off, which isn't gonna work.
He apparently claims that another YouTube streamer, Repzion, and I have been mean to him. He wants a personal protection order. Good luck with that.
So, a personal protection order, I'm sure you guys have heard what a restraining order is, but Onision does love definitions, so I'm gonna read this. PPO is a court order to stop threats or violence. I think you're okay against Chris Hansen, but anyway, violence against you. A PPO can help protect you from someone who is threatening, hurting, harassing, or stalking you. I guess he thinks that he's being stalked, which is ridiculous, but whatever. You can get a PPO if you have a reasonable fear for your personal liberty or safety. Honestly, I don't know if it's gonna go through. They're gonna look at this whole situation and realize pretty quickly that Onision isn't in any actual danger. This is all ridiculous. This is all possibly a distraction so that people quit thinking about what he does. So all these things are floating around the internet. It shows how Onision and Kai are both going after Repzion. It shows how they're going after Chris Hansen. You know, it's pretty extensive. And this last one here says, request for order for protection from civil harassment and temporary anti-harassment protection order. So the temporary anti-harassment protection thing makes people feel like maybe they're not actually getting sued and he's just filing a restraining order. But Repzion recently tweeted this, which makes me feel like if you're needing to gather legal fees, there is a good chance that you are in need of protecting yourself from being sued. After the 24th, I'll be creating a GoFundMe for legal fees. Until after that point, please do not donate to any GoFundMes that aren't tweeted by me directly. Receipts will be posted once complete. I will also share that to help support him. I think we should all come together to support people in times like this because no one should be gone after in that way. So many things make Onision look so freaking guilty. Like, why is he running? Why is he hiding? Like, he's actually staying in a hotel to make sure that Chris Hansen doesn't catch him. I really do feel like if you have nothing to hide, this is just not the behavior you would exhibit. Maybe I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But I did want to make this video just to kind of let you know about what's going on and tell you to please send support to Chris Hansen and Repzion if he does make a GoFundMe, because this is just an insane waste of everybody's time. Let's not make it a waste of money too. On my interview with Chris Hansen, like I said, you should watch it, it's good. We talked a little bit about Susan, the CEO of YouTube, and he asked me why I think she's not talking with him. And I get that talking about this type of behavior, this type of illegal behavior, might not be something that she feels comfortable discussing, not good for PR, but I disagree. So I would encourage Susan to please actually sit down and talk either yourself about it, talk to a creator about it, like, I'm here, but maybe I'm not cool enough. Talk to Chris Hansen about it. Just talk to somebody, address it in some way, make a simple tweet, kick him off the platform. If you're being silent on this for reasons that are related to PR, also recognize that if you step up and do something right now, you would be a hero. A giant party, a Susan party, I would help throw it. So if you're watching this, feel free to try to reach out to Susan in some way and let her know that we would really appreciate it. Anytime. And another thing that I would kindly ask you guys to do, and I know it's hard, please, please, please stop watching his videos. If you want to see the ridiculousness that's unfolding, feel free to stop by almost any commentary channel and you can see the bits and pieces that are the funniest. But when you give him clicks, when you give him views, he makes money and you're enabling him to continue doing this in some moderate amount of success. The fact that he gets any likes on videos at all scares me. I made a video with Blair not long ago where we pointed out the number of Patreon supporters he has. His Patreon is gone now, but there were people there. There were actual people there giving him money. In some way, he does still have support, so don't add to that. Don't watch his stupid videos. Please don't encourage this. While I do think it is important to speak up and bring attention to this, because right now we have somebody basically getting away with everything, minus the public ridicule. Legally, they're getting away with everything. So it's important to keep the conversation going. It's important to address it. But if you could not give him any of the benefit, that'd be great. So quick recap. Support the people that Onision is unfairly suing, and please do not watch his videos. Maybe send a tweet or something to Susan. I don't know what else to say. This has gone on too long. Someone needs to just end it, please. I gotta get out of here. I can't talk about this shit anymore. I'm gonna drive myself crazy. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it everywhere. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I know that a lot of people watching are not subscribed. It would help me out tremendously if you would subscribe. Also, big thank you to everybody supporting me on Patreon. I truly could not do this without you, and your support is so amazing, especially when YouTube doesn't like me and demonetizes all my stuff, but it's fine, I'm not bitter. And also a big thank you to everybody who is buying merch at ffvmerch.com. Got some cool sweatshirts, got some cool tank tops, pop sockets, shot glasses, all of the things are there, so check it out, ffvmerch.com. All right, I'm gonna go drink a glass of wine, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!